How we doing? It's nice to see you. Been a while. You should keep pressing play, you know. Anyway, today I've got something really useful for you to learn. And I just want to emphasise the importance of knowing your chords in their different positions. So I suppose today's lesson is really focused on inversions, okay? On the screen there, you'll see a little score and it's downloadable. It's yours for free. So knowing your chords in their inversions is massively, massively useful, all right? And we're going to get straight on with it. So I'll see you in an arpeggio-ingy-do, all right? Nice one. So your first chord you'll ever learn on the keyboard, okay, not guitar, because normally that's like E or G or something like that. On the keyboard, usually C chord, okay? And that starts in a nice block position as it's known in the business, okay? So C, E, and G, fingers 1, 3, 5. Fantastic, no problem, okay? The first inversion of that is basically going to start not on your C, we're going to move up to your E, all right? And we're going to go E on thumb, second finger on G, okay, and then on C you've got your little finger, okay, or pinky, okay. Still don't know why it's called pinky, but I'll just go with it, okay. That's your first inversion. So all we've really done is move the C from there to the higher octave area there, look, okay. And then the second one is basically the second inversion, okay. So we're going to take this E away and play start on G. And we're going to put the E up here, the octave higher, and we're going to go fingers 1, 3, and 5. And you can do that with any chord you want to, as long as you know it in its block or root position. G, for example, okay? 1, 3, 5. 1, 2, 5. Move the G up to there. And we've got a D, a 1, 3, 5. Again. After that, you go back into root position, but you continue going up. So, for example, in G, I start again, and so on. It's not that hard to get into. Once you've got it under your belt, you'll be laughing, okay? Probably laughing at me. Right, oh, that shirt's fine. A bit tatty, but we're still all right. Right. So, what I want to do is go through this little melody line. We'll just look at the right hand. The left hand's there. There's a bit of a pointer, a bit of support, but I'm more focused on the right hand melody. All right. And first of all, when you look at bars 1 and 2, you're looking. Pause video, download it on the link below, and then we can crack on. Now you can see, and I'll probably put it on the screen as well. C, D, E. All right. Now that's fine. If you think about the way it's spread, it goes from a C, D, E, a G, and a C. So we've got around the octave. And you're like, oh, that's bigger than a 3-note chord. And it is, okay? So I'm going to play through the scale, C, D, E, F, okay? So we're in that position, okay? What I want to do is go C, D, E. That's dead easy. Anyone can do that. C, D, E, using thumb, second and third finger. However, we need to somehow get to the C, and that's a really awkward thing to do. It's not going to work for you, okay? So what I would suggest you do is think of your spread, or your, not spread on toast, no dippers, you know, that was this morning, okay? I want you to think about your spread of your hand across the actual spectrum of the octave. All right, so 1, 2, 3. Now, normally on the scale, you would go 1, 2, 3, and thumb underneath. Well, you need to take that approach to get to the higher C there. Okay, and this is how we're going to do it. Pay attention and have a look. 1, 2. We've got a drummer. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Watch your thumb. Okay, we'll do it again. A 1, 2, 3, 4, and thumb underneath, and release the thumb onto the E. Let's just look at that second part. So the first part is 1, 2, 3, and then you can expand. Now, why do I want to do that? It actually gives us a position where we start on the second inversion there, you see. So we could really expand up there. And think about it as well. We've got that line, okay? And that line is a phrase mark, and that means we have to play smoothly, connecting them together. Otherwise, we'd just do this, wouldn't we? which is okay. But we need to make it smooth and nice, okay? And this is the way we do it. You have to make sure that you can play your phrase in one kind of breath, if you like, all right? Without taking your hand off the keys. So everything is slightly joined together. Under thumb, okay? And then we need to come back to the E, but we've got the thumb here, and it's the lowest note. We can't go any lower. So we've got to be able to play the C with pinky, go back to 1, first inversion position C, and then back to 2, okay? So with the drums, play along with me, and we'll see how it goes. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and thumb underneath. Again. And one more time. Okay. Nice one. So that's the first little part of it. Okay. So when we get to bar 3, it's a little bit interesting. Think about where we just actually landed on the back end of bar 2. We've got a second finger on G, and we kind of want the thumb on G. So when we start on bar 3, we're going to have pinky on C to start with, okay? But then we're going to kind of release that as we put our thumb on G. So it's going to go like this. And what we're doing there, we are releasing that position, going into second inversion on C, okay? So we're in root position to start with. We're going into first inversion for bar 2, and bar 3, we're going to second inversion, okay? So we're going to go, and put your thumb, we'll have to cut it down because it's legato. So go C, G, C, E. Your D is your 4, 3, 2, and 1. And that gives us a nice G position, okay? G block chord or root position, the same thing, okay? So let's play that in context, and I'll put the first 4 bars together, okay? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thumb underneath, thumb on E, and 5, 1. Okay. So I would practice that a little bit, and before you bring the next part in. Okay. So let's take a look at bars 5 and 6. I think you've got this. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 5. Okay. And then when you've got your C down with your 5th finger, pinky, we can go 1 on G, B, and D. Okay, we have a nice block chord. So that block chord comes again from around bar 4 area. We're going to play the actual broken chord of a root position G. Do you see that? G, 1, B, 3, and D5. Again for you. On E, first inversion C chord position, look. Okay. Let's break it up. 1, 2, 3, 5, and then 1, 3, 5. Okay, got that? Brilliant. Okay. Now bars 7 and 8 is a little kind of like a conclusion area, and we're going to go down and back up again. Let's take a look at that one. Bar 7, the melody starts on beat 2. There's a little crotchet rest. So we'll go 1 and a straight in. Okay. Here we go. Let me just play it for you with the drums. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Again. 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay. So bar 7 and 8 kind of compromises between 2 positions, to be fair. We're going to go 4 on C. And it feels like, okay, a G chord. So you're kind of playing that to position because your 1 is on G, okay? But then we release it and go to the 4. But basically we've got 4, 4, 3, 2, 1 on G, 3 on B, and then 4, okay? So once you've kind of practiced each little section, 2 bars at a time, or the phrases, take it as that, try and put it together, okay? Now, you could do it at the same speed we've been playing at. I'm going to take it a little bit slower, about 80 BPM, and we'll see if we can do it together, okay? Let's have a listen. A 1, 2, 3, 4. That's your first inversion there. Second inversion position. G chord. First inversion. G chord, root. And then 1. Let's do it again. So if you want to know more about inversions, how you build them together and diatonics, check that video out there. I think you'll really like it, okay? And if you want to know how to learn some blues and some jazz, wait till the end screen. I've got some lovely stuff for you. Until I see you next time, just take care and enjoy learning and playing in your positions of C and all that jazz. Jazz!